Okay, so what do you think is going to happen with revenue?
You know, I don't know. All the pieces are in play. Um, Time will tell. This is my first session, so I'm a little bit confused about the lack of a master plan on revenue and expenses. And so we go into Ways and Means and we meet. We just got out of a meeting at 12 today and we pass a whole bunch of budgets. But I'm trying to figure out the whole picture. I'm used to budgeting from top down, not from bottom up. And I hope somebody has the whole plan. I think I'm going to try to do my own so that I'm at least second guessing. I don't want to I mean, we're less than 2 weeks away from being done. So I don't want to get to a point where we're short at the end or we have to cut some really good programs. Um, there's some, pre-K kids programs. There's the Living at Home for Seniors, Project Independence, CASA. I mean, there's some really great programs that save us a ton of money down the road if we invest now. So we invest a little bit now. The hospital tax, provider tax passed out today. A little bit of gamemanship going on, but it did get out and it got out of the House. So I think that's done, and that's I think $600 million. So there is some revenue coming in to help for our Oregon health plan, which is really in a deficit and maybe getting worse. So although we put a 1.5% premium on insurance payments, I think we save a huge increase by what we did today. I voted no on it for some reasons that we'll get into later. But our whole health insurance thing's a failure. I mean, people are paying $1,200 a month with a $5,000 deductible, and it excludes a lot of things, and you really don't understand it. So we need a massive overhaul in the whole thing so it becomes somewhat affordable for our citizens. Um, so we don't know where revenue is going to go. It's kind of out of our hands at this point, and there's various committees working on it. Um, the school budget at 8.2 billion, I guess, is stalled in the House at this point for some reason, and I don't understand people saying it's not enough, so I'm not going to vote for it. It seems like we can always increase, but let's give some stability to the school boards. And to me, that's one of the most important elected positions there is a school board, and probably the least acknowledged. But they're out there trying to do budgets without really knowing how much they have. So pleased that the Senate passed 8.2 billion out in time for school boards, but now it's kind of stalled in the House. So I think there's a lot of games being played. I have to say this is a really simple thing to do. We could have been out of here months ago by just keeping things simple. We try to make them confusing. The gross receipts tax is something to really pay attention to because, people are saying, well, gee, if I don't make $3 million in gross sales, I won't pay anything. That's not true if you're a pass-through corporation. So in Oregon, we have pass-through corporations. They're LLCs and S's. And then there's the not pass-through corporations, the C's. So the new gross receipts plan, which I think is dead, but I'm hearing rumors it may get on the House floor for a vote. And I don't know what the plan looks like. But we're taking away the tax on C Corps and replacing it with a new one. The pass-throughs will still pay their existing tax, no less, same tax, maybe a little more. And if they're over $3 million, they'll pay the gross receipts tax too, so they're going to get double taxed. You'll see some pass-through corporations paying maybe up to 25% of their net revenue in taxes. And you combine that with almost 40% federal rate, now you're up to 65% taxes, which lets you keep 35%. That is necessary for business growth and expansion. And people don't understand. They're saying, oh, I don't do $3 million in gross sales. But if you're a pass-through, you're still paying your personal taxes. And people say, well, gee, Nevada just put it in. They don't have an income tax. Washington doesn't have an income tax. So their small corporations aren't taxed the same. But I see this as being a great win for C Corps. A lot of them are going to pay a lot less taxes, which kind of compounds the problems that Measure 97 was talking about.